Now, over the past 7 years, I've used over 40 pieces of software to run my own campaigns and business, as well as manage campaigns and funnels for clients. And until very recently, I was very anti all-in-one solutions. After all, putting all your eggs in one software basket just didn't seem like a sound plan to me. However, after multiple six figures in my own business and helping clients reach seven figures and beyond, I have to admit I was wrong and change my mind, and hopefully this will save you months, if not years, of trial and error. Hey, I'm Jason, faith-based entrepreneur and full-time digital nomad. Timestamps and links below, along with a link to today's sponsor, Go High Level, with a 30-day free trial. And if you sign up via our link, you'll get complimentary access to ActOS, which is our one-and-done system for creating content, building your funnels, and launching your products. More on that later. Now, when it comes to the age-old question of should you put all your eggs in one basket and have one software that does everything for you, or should you have multiple softwares and multiple solutions so you can easily swap out the parts that don't work or go down or break or pricing changes? I used to be squarely in this camp. In fact, in 2013, when I started my first business, there was no such thing as ClickFunnels or Go High Level or Systemi, and Kajabi had only been around for 6 months. And so the prevailing wisdom was having all your eggs spread across multiple baskets. But looking back, I can think of several times where I would lose months trying to get softwares to talk to each other. My first membership website in 2016 or 17, it took me 8 months to get Optimized Press and PayPal and MemberPress or MemberMouse, whatever we were using, to actually work and collect a payment. And while it's not as hard as it was back then now, I bring up this story to illustrate if you're part-time, you don't want to spend a fourth of your work week figuring out how to connect two pieces of software. At the time, I only had 15 hours a week to work on my business, so spending 3 or 4 hours trying to get a Divi button to show a pop-up, boom, that's a fourth of my work week, right? We all have lives and jobs outside of getting our businesses off the ground. So eventually, after testing and failing with multiple softwares, I finally got it down to this list of software, and we used this kind of software stack to sound cool for a couple of years, but it was still juggling multiple pieces of software. We still had things constantly breaking. And I just kept telling myself, well, at least we can swap something out if it doesn't work. But that's not exactly how things played out. We had a WordPress site completely hacked. It took down all other softwares with it because the interconnectedness of links. We had MailerLite request us to upgrade to their new version, which forced us to manually move a bunch of things anyway, as if we were changing softwares entirely. We've had Teachable up their pricing on us after being acquired by a venture capital firm, Book Like a Boss and Google Meet losing our client recordings. The list goes on and on. Every time one of those links in the chain of our funnels or campaigns broke, it didn't matter that it was its own basket. The whole system didn't work just because one piece didn't work. So we had the headache of managing multiple pieces, and we still had the downside of one software going down, the whole system goes down. Now, of course, all of these problems don't go away when you use an all-in-one solution. An all-in-one solution can raise their pricing. They can have bugs. The system can go down. They can be acquired by a venture capital firm who just wants to make money and all the pricing goes up, right? All of those risks of software exist, whether you're an all-in-one solution or if you have multiple solutions strung together. And so ultimately that led me to a very similar question you might be asking yourself right now is there an all-in-one solution that can actually do everything that I want? Because the benefit of having everything just in one basket and working and talking to each other far outweighs the headache of having all these different things strung together. And actually, Go High Level was not our first pick. I actually went with a completely different software for the past year and a half. And unfortunately, that one that I chose, while it had an awesome page builder, it could do membership sites, it could do upsells and downsells, send emails, do some basic automations, everything High Level does. It seemed to tank our open rates for some reason. And so I found that even though we had all the bells and whistles that we could ever want, that High Level has as well, we were missing arguably one of the most important things, and that was control over our deliverability for our email. We had a list of about 20,000, and so when you talk about a couple percentage points changes in open rates, you're talking about thousands of people all of a sudden not getting our emails or not opening our emails, even after doing extraneous amounts of list cleaning, which I won't get into. And so that ultimately led us back to looking at high level again. And so I set out to find an all-in-one solution that would actually allow me to do my entire strategy in one login, one platform for everything. So that would allow me to schedule social media content, to drive traffic to my landing pages, to of course grow my email list. Then I would be able to send broadcast emails to whatever our offers are, whether it's a coaching, a service, or a digital product. Hopefully collect some reviews, rinse and repeat as quickly and efficiently as possible. Now, there are a lot of solutions that allow you to do most of this, minus the social media scheduling part. And some of the other really cool things that I found that I liked with Go High Level was the email deliverability control, the ability to create an e-com store for our digital products. So we can essentially have a store, all 19 of our digital products can be there, and then people can add to cart. I know that's not a traditional way of selling digital offers, but I'm really excited about that because I have 19 offers and there's nowhere for us to put all of them in the solution we're using right now. And then of course it has all the funnel, page building, and membership site and community site, features that you would want out of a funnel and course builder. And so now as a content and course creator, I wanted to dive into my Go High Level and show you how I've gone about setting up all of our funnels, automations, and courses. And this is really allowing us to create an ecosystem of products that is so much faster to create and so much more integrated and easier to swap out upsells and order bumps. And you just have so much more control compared to some of the other solutions out there. And again, I've tested a lot. So let's jump into my screen and I'll quickly show you. And a quick note before I show you my funnel, courses, and automations, something that has been really helpful to me is you can actually jump on a Zoom call with their support. So if you ever do get stuck and you find the AI bot is not helpful in terms of learning the platform, you can actually have someone just straight up answer your question. It's actually pretty cool compared to some of the other solutions where I might have to wait a day or more, depending upon the time zones. I'm traveling all the time to get an answer. So this is just a very simple funnel. We've got a landing page. We have a one-time offer page that we show someone. Then we have an upsell and a confirmation. And so this is what our landing pages look like. By the way, if you decide to sign up for a 30-day free trial via our link in the description, this template you'll actually get for free. So we have a whole snapshot for you so you can just copy our system and you're off to the races to hopefully save you even more time. So you can see here, basic landing page. We have our little order form, our little opt-in form here, not an order form. Then we have our sales page. And so we have a countdown timer that redirects if the countdown timer is over. This is our advanced sales letter template. And this is the exact same template I use on some other platforms as well. I was able to rebuild the entire thing. And of course you have the two-step order form. I know some people like one step, not sure why, but I like the two-step because when someone enters their name and email and they don't complete, you can set up an automation to say, hey, come complete your purchase before the time runs out, right? It's kind of cool. Then of course you have your upsell pages, and with one click, the product is added to their order. For some reason, they don't have a PayPal integration for order bumps and upsells. That would be one of the gripes I have, actually the main one. I don't understand why. And then of course we have our basic confirmation page, shows a summary of their products. And something else that I've actually come to really like with High Level is you can set up your own domain to send people access. So on a lot of other solutions, you'll send a, hey, thanks for purchasing, awesome to have you aboard. And then they'll also have to receive a second email from whatever the system is. And so you'll have to tell them to go look at the other email, and often winds up in spam, of course, to go access their stuff. And so I'm really excited to be able to control our domain, authority, but then also have access links from our domain, not the software that we're using. But that's pretty common across all other software. So I'm not throwing any one software under the bus there. Then of course we have our email automations. So we have an automation for people who join our email list and say, hey, we have this cool offer that we think you'd really like. And then, of course, we also have an automation giving people access to a course, making sure they're supported, and then, of course, asking for a review, which is a huge thing I am still working on in my own business. Then, of course, you can create your courses. I won't go through the contrived way. You have to set up you have to create a product and then an offer, and then you have to set up a pricing plan. Like it is contrived. So if you've seen reviews saying, oh, high level is overcomplicated and it has extra steps, it does. It does have extra steps. And then this is a preview of actually our ActOS membership. So if you decide to join via the 30-day trial, you can get access to this as well. Has all of our best trainings for creating content, building funnels, has some ton of AI prompts in there as well. And then this is what the course kind of library looks like for your students and customers. And so they kind of just click through whichever one that they have access to. And they do have another course layout that looks a lot similar to Kajabi, but I like this course layout because it's really easy on the navigation left-hand side. People can see all of the modules. So this is like I think a $50 or $60, one-page business plan training. But you can see here, you can put all of your modules in one part. You can upload your videos, so goodbye Vimeo. And then of course you have a basic place to put any text you have for that particular module. And they also have communities, although I won't get too much into that because I'm brand new to this whole communities thing. I think there's another popular software out there that's really popularized it, but if you want to have a community, you can of course do that. So that does it for a really, really quick overview of how I've gone ahead and set up things in high level. And if you decide to join via our link with the 30-day free trial, you can actually get access to, I'm clicking around because I can't find it. You can actually get access to our product template, this digital product funnel template. We have an express version for you, so you can really just get in, create your funnel, and then get out and back to work. It's the exact same pages I use. And of course, we have some automations already set up for you to hopefully make it as easy as possible. But of course, we can't gloss over the fact that yes, there are some extra steps when it comes to learning high level versus some of the other solutions out there. So hopefully this kind of story and review has been helpful to you in terms of hearing from someone who really was anti all-in-one solutions for years and was able to scale to 6 figures and help other clients scale to 7 figures using multiple pieces of software. At the end of the day, those headaches just are not worth it. And so if you have any questions about high level or some other software solutions, more than happy to answer them. Just go ahead and comment below. I do my best to read and reply to every single one. Check out that link to the 30-day free trial. If you don't like it, you just cancel. We'll give you all the snapshots anyway. And a huge thank you to Go High Level for sponsoring this video and future content coming as we create more snapshots and trainings for you to help you go from part-time to full-time in your business. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more reviews and a lot more guides on how to build your business. And until the next, keep building the business you love.